I got to know Pam Chapman back in the late 70s when the Williamsville School District was having a lot more problems than they are right now. Different kinds of problems. It's hard to believe, but at the time we were under-enrolled. We had to close schools. There were two fine elementary schools in the Williamsville Village area, Academy and Forest, but one was doomed. One had to be closed. It was a difficult time. Friends and neighbors, relatives were pitted against each other, trying to convince the school board that their school was the one that really should survive. I remember going to our principal at the time and saying, "Is there anything that I can do?" And he said, "Yes, have more children." Well, Pam and I and several others did reproduce, but it was it was too little and too late. And at the end of the year, Academy was decommissioned. The children and the families were welcomed at Forest. And from the moment Pam set foot at Forest Elementary, she was determined to make it the finest school that it could be, and determined to meld the two populations of those two schools. That was when I first was impressed with her leadership abilities. But it was not long after that other people noticed those abilities also. She was soon to become president of the PTA there. And I remember one night at a meeting, she told us she had an idea. She had a plan for us. She thought we should build a playground. Well, people shook their heads and rolled their eyes and said, "Pam, we don't have the money. We don't have the expertise. How are we going to do it?" But with her calm, confident, ambitious leadership, plans began. And one typical Buffalo spring day, you know that kind of day when there's a fresh inch of snow on the ground? At the crack of dawn, we began to build what is now called Elf Park and Fitness Trail. I think that Pam started an epidemic because if you notice, these things have sprung up all over the community now. But we built more than a park that day, that weekend. We built a new community, a stronger, better homeschool community than we had ever known before. As I struggled with what to tell you tonight about Pam, I pored over her 5-page resume of volunteer activities and committees through the years. I think I counted over 75 positions that Pam has held. It was a task I really needed help with, so I decided to rely on the experts. Maybe some of you know David Letterman's list of top 10. I didn't exactly contact the staff, but I borrowed their ideas, and with your permission, I would like to present the 10 top reasons why Pam is our choice for this award. Number 10, in the beginning, she was the chairman of the Corner House Nursery School Board. Reason number 9, she was president of the PTA at her elementary school and instrumental in starting a fingerprinting program. Number 8, at Mill Middle School, she was co-president of the PTA. Number 7, when she got to South High School, you guessed it, she was president of the PTA and chairman of the just beginning idea of post-prom parties. In fact, as we walked in tonight, Christina Akers said to me, "She's the best. She's hardcore PTA." Number 6, with PTA Council, she was treasurer. She chaired the Scholarship Committee and the American Ed Service to Youth Committee. Reason number 5, she's been in the community. She's been a Girl Scout leader and the manager of several soccer teams. Reason number 4, at church, she's chaired the Finance Committee, headed the Sunday School. She was a board member and served on numerous committees. And in the community, we find reason number 3. Many women's organizations have enjoyed her expertise in leadership roles too numerous to mention tonight. Reason number 2, she's a superb leader. But reason number 1, the reason she's our nominee, as the kids say, she's the best. It is with great pride and the full support of the David Letterman staff and the Williamsville South Parent Teacher Student Association that I would like to present Pam with the 1996 American Education Volunteer Award. Pam, applause.
That's beautiful. Shall I give you this to take down for me? Since I'm shaky and nervous. Good evening. Thank you for being here tonight. My dear friends, my fellow volunteers, and all of you who support our children's futures. Gail, thank you for your kind words and introduction. They mean a great deal to me, especially coming from someone like you, someone who has 5 sons, someone who constantly gives of herself to the community, and someone who spends so much time in her van that she decorates it for Christmas. Jean Jane can vouch for my surprise when she called me when I had won this award. I was thrilled when she told me that Don Devers and Kathy Azzarella, 2 people who I have known and respected for years, had won as well. But I was shocked to be put in the same class as the 2 of them and the previous year's recipients, the outstanding people that you see in tonight's program. How could I, a person who had benefited and learned and grew from every personal contact, every challenge, every program's success, why should I be honored for doing something that I loved? My 3 children, their friends, and my friends' children have been inspiration for the many tasks I have undertaken. What would benefit them? How could I support the teachers, the administration, and the support staff who were in daily contact with my children? They were close to my children for hours every day, teaching, influencing, and setting examples. What would put me in the building or on a field trip or allow me to share in the school's decision process for my children? That may be a little selfish, but caring for your own children is often the beginning of caring for all children. Like many people, I started out timidly, doing small tasks. I found the satisfaction of success, the pleasure of companionship of others who had just a little time to give. I found that time after time, if there were enough people who could give a little of their time, big things could be achieved. We could even take on projects as big as building an entire playground like Elf Park at Forest in a single weekend. The scores of volunteers who made that success possible walked away from the experience ready to work another day to volunteer again. They took pride in what they had accomplished. They brought their children to the dedication ceremony to share that pride and to play on what they had built. Now, even years later, some of them hold reunions celebrating the achievements and friendships it had created. This award tonight is graciously accepted. I treasure it along with my memories of all of those other people who should be up here with me. Do you know how many hours it takes to write a 2-minute speech? How many hours each of them spent reliving the days and the years with those of you I worked with and cared for in Scouts and PTA and church and PTSA and PEO and in schools and PTA council and on and on. We had wonderful times doing things together. Now that my husband and I have left Western New York, I have to admit I shed tears missing you and my home of 25 years. Now I'm going to do a little aside here. An editorial comment. Rejoice in your school system and its progressiveness. Outside of Western New York, I drive by schools with 25 portable classrooms and no money for expansion. I live where too many people and too many voters still think a computer in the classroom is an extravagance. My son, who graduates this year from Williamsville South, is visiting colleges where laptop computers are part of the package given to incoming freshmen and are integral to their education. Access to college libraries, professors, the internet, email is a way of life. Help this district, your district, keep training its students for that way of life. Dr. Murphy, I am disappointed that you are leaving the district. I know of your dedication to education and the betterment of students. I wish, for the sake of the district, you had decided to stay to keep developing programs like Chem Free, but thank you for what you have done for us. Be thrilled with your teaching staff. There are places where teachers aren't given the finances and administrative support that they have here. Places where teachers do less with less. Places where the drug Ritalin is accepted as a method of achieving classroom discipline. The teachers here have given my children and all of our children an excellent start in their lives. Thank you for that. If you want to really understand the quality of the students in this district, to be awed by them, be part of the PTA Council Scholarship Committee. Every year, that committee has the privilege of reading the scholastic and public service records of dozens of Williamsville graduating seniors. Just reading their applications, just seeing what those students have done for their schools and their community will tire you out and make you proud all at the same time. Who makes a difference? We all do. Whether we give an hour to make a phone call or to bake cookies for a reception, a day to help in a school field trip or work in a soup kitchen, a week to get out the vote for the budget, or a year or even a better part of a lifetime, each of us involved, and together we do make a difference. Keep up the good work, all of you, and thank you for this wonderful and memorable evening. Thank you.
Pam has chosen as her performers the Williamsville South Jazz Ensemble.